Steelers Nation, how are we doing on this fine afternoon? Today I'm going to be breaking down some Pittsburgh Steelers trade targets at the wide receiver position. Alright, to get this list started right here, let's go right into this with my number one wide receiver target. And he is the most unrealistic option. However, he is a potential option that has been brought up in some rumors lately. So Christopher Olave, the wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, he's my number one target because he is the best receiver that's even in consideration to be shopped right now. And if the Steelers can get him for a day two pick, preferably a third, but if you can get like a second and then like a fourth and fifth round pick swap, I'd be down for that. But the compensation, if first round pick would be way too much in my eyes, a second would be too. But if you can do like a second and then you can improve on a pick you had in a later round, I'd be all for that deal. But Chris Olave, smooth route runner, great compliment to DK Metcalf. Unlike George Pickens, they were both very similar players, a little different, but they were both very big bodies who are good with like them deep ball catches. That's not Chris Olave. He's gonna be a shifty little route runner who'll be all over the field and he'll be making some good catches for you. However, he has had some injury history, 5 concussions, I believe. However, Derek Carr likes throwing those hospital balls that can get his receivers hurt, and Aaron Rodgers isn't known to do that, so I doubt if he does get traded to the Steelers. And Aaron Rodgers isn't a Steeler yet, so my apologies for using that there. Mason Rudolph isn't known for that. I mean, he's not really known for much except for saving Christmas. But, I don't think we should worry about the concussions too much because that's something Derek Carr does do a lot. But, it is just something to keep in the back of your mind as we progress forward with some other targets. And going back to the list here, we got Romeo Doubs as my next target. Romeo Doubs, he's also known for these injuries, which I'm not loving as a little theme here. But, Romeo Doubs, really shifty receiver. Quite similar to Chris Olave. He's not going to be like a big body getting those jump balls. However, he'll be all around the field. Like, he's a quicker guy. He's good at route running, and he's a hard worker. He's a hard worker, yeah, but you got to give him the ball because last year he got suspended from the Packers for complaining about not getting the ball. So if you're going to pick up Romeo Doubs, you're going to have to give him the ball or else, it might not work out with him. And then progressing forward in this video, we have Mr. Keenan Allen, the current free agent, as my next target. He's not a trade target, but he is a free agent target, and it's kind of just receiver targets I'm going over here. And, he's a very solid, reliable number 2, number 3 guy. He probably won't be as good as the 2 guys previously mentioned, but that injury history isn't as big as a concern here. He's also a bigger guy. He's still not going to be a jump ball guy. He's still more of a route runner kind of guy. He did lose a little pep in his step last year, but he had around 800 yards this past season. So, good production from him with a lackluster offensive scheme he had going on there. So, maybe an Arthur Smith's offense where he'll have to not be like a main weapon, because we're going to be running the ball, but in Chicago last year it was more passing than running for the most part. But here it's more running, so maybe he could be a solid number 2 for what the Steelers are trying to do here, because he will be a solid route runner, as I previously mentioned. And he's a veteran leader, too. In L.A., he was there during when they were horrible and, just not doing good at all. And he stuck by them. And he eventually got traded because of salary stuff. But, it's not because he demanded a trade, or at least I believe. But, it just shows you his veteran leadership, kind of similar to Robert Woods, but he's just simply better than Robert Woods in terms of really all aspects of the game, maybe except for, speed. But, and maybe veteran leadership, but he still is very solid in that category. Now moving forward here, we got Dontayvion Wicks, another Packers wide out. He's another one. He's not going to be a big body guy, but again, that's not what we're trying to get. We're trying to get these route runners who are going to be shifty, and they're not going to be slot guys like Calvin Austin because he's perfect in that role, Calvin Austin. But he'll be a good number 2 guy who's been there, done it before. And that's exactly what Dontayvion Wicks was. I believe he's actually the wide receiver 1 in Green Bay. My apologies. I believe that's Jaden Reed. But Dontayvion Wicks, very solid player in really all aspects of the game. He's going to be a hard-nosed run blocker. Or he might not be elite at it, but he's going to give you no character concerns about him, really. He seems like a really good kid from what I've seen on him. And honestly, on the field, he's a good route runner. His hands are good. It's just that jump ball he's got to work on, because like he just doesn't have that elite size. But as a wide receiver too, that's okay. You just got to be good enough, and that is what Dontavian Wicks is. I'm going to go on my final wide receiver target here. We got Amari Cooper, the wide out for the Buffalo Bills, who's now currently a free agent. I have him under the previous guys mentioned, like Keenan Allen, because he was just less productive last year. And with Josh Allen as your quarterback, I get he got traded, and I'm factoring that into this a little bit, keeping him in this above guys like Jalen McMillan, Tampa Bay's wide out. But Amari Cooper, he's actually a little more of a bigger guy. He's a little more of like a jumpy ball, but still not like a George Pickens, DK Metcalf level kind of guy in that aspect of the game. But solid veteran who's been there, done that before, as a couple of these guys have been, if not all of them. And so these are the 5 wide receiver targets I would be pleased with the Pittsburgh Steelers targeting. And with that being said, folks, here we go, Steelers, here we go.